Rangers,
Rangers,
all the way,
all the way.
Here we go,
Here we go,
here we go,
here we go.
C-130 rolling down.
Recently, as we're in the process of getting over the pandemic and transitioning back to some semblance of normalcy, there's been a lot of content published recently about the topic of resiliency. A lot of great articles, a lot of great posts, and I'd like to share with you my perspective on this topic and share with you a story from early on in my career in which I learned a really good lesson on resiliency. So when I was a young Army officer, I attended the U.S. Army Ranger School, which is known as being one of the most physically and mentally demanding courses that the Army has to offer. And we were about 7 days into the course, and we were doing a road march, and I had well over 100 pounds of gear and equipment on, and my rucksack was weighing me down, and we were marching all night. And we finally got to our destination, which was Camp Darby, which is located in the middle of the Fort Benning Forest there in middle Georgia. And the sun was just coming up, and I was beyond exhausted. I was more exhausted than I had ever been in my entire life. I just dropped my rucksack down and I flopped down on the ground, and I was looking forward to some nice rest and maybe some classroom training coming up where I could heal myself and get ready for whatever adventures Ranger School had to offer. Now, Camp Darby is known as the home of the infamous Darby Queen obstacle course. The Darby Queen is well known to be one of the most difficult in the Army inventory, and I knew that at some point in our experience there at Camp Darby, we were going to have to successfully negotiate this obstacle course. So there I was, flopped down on my rucksack and thinking about the rest that's no doubt in front of us. And it was around this time that our ranger instructor politely informed us that we had 5 minutes to get up, pair up, and get in line to start the obstacle course. I couldn't believe what I heard. I was incredulous. How on earth could you possibly think that we're ready for the obstacle course right now? Do you not realize what we had just been through? That road march nearly killed us. There's no way we're ready for this. We need food, we need sleep, we need time to heal up. There's no way. How about we do this tomorrow? Say 9 o'clock-ish after a nice brunch or something like that. Now, obviously, I didn't say any of that out loud. In my mind, I was saying a lot of things, but I didn't think it would be in my best interest to express what I was saying at the time. So I pretty much did the only thing I could do. I picked myself up, I brushed myself off, and I started to hobble over to the starting point for the obstacle course. And my ranger buddy at the time that I was paired up with, I looked over and I saw him hobbling over as well. And I looked at him and he looked at me, and we were both too tired to even speak, but our looks that we gave each other communicated a lot. We knew that at that time we had a decision to make. We were not going to let what we had just been through determine our success or failure for the obstacle course in front of us. We're going to put all of that behind us and make the decision right there that we were going to be successful. And I don't know how we did it. We were successful. We completed the obstacle course and we continued on with our ranger journey. It hurt like the dickens, but we made it through. And there are many times throughout my career, both in and out of uniform, when I think back to that day and the lesson that I learned in resiliency. There are so many times where we go through something difficult, either personal or professional, and we're exhausted, we're tired, we're down on ourselves for what might have been a failure, and we allow that to cloud our judgment and prevent us from having the right mentality to focus on what's right in front of us and be successful in the moment. Professional golfers have the same kind of mentality. They may have a really bad hole where they end up getting like a triple bogey, and they need to put all of that behind them when they approach the next tee box and focus on the hole in front of them. And the same is true if they end up getting like a double eagle. They need to do the same thing, put that behind them and focus on the hole in front of them. It's also true for people who are recovering from addictions. The success mentality that they needed to have, if they were to stumble and fall, they don't let that failure define how they're going to have success in the future. They pick themselves up, they brush themselves off, and they make the best decision for themselves in the moment in that day. So I offer you the same kind of advice. If you go through something really difficult, say the past year of the pandemic that's been difficult on all of us, you need to pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and focus on the moment in front of you. What's the best decision that you can make right then and right there for yourself and for your family and for your company? As the saying goes, it's not how often you fall down, it's how often you pick yourself up and you move out and you achieve the success that you know that you're capable of achieving, because that's what platinum level leaders do.